Well, hello everybody. I'm going to show you how to take a freshly painted locomotive and turn into a decal locomotive. What you're going to need is a bamboo skewer, a paintbrush, a good pair of scissors, decals, and a tweezers can sometimes help too. I'll be right back and show you what to do. I first need to get a couple of things situated. Oh, and you will need some water and a doesn't really matter what tray, but I use that, which is a painter's palette. Well, one of the first things you're going to want to do is to cut out the size that you want. This is 1 inch shorter than what I've previously used because even though there's multiple 4-inch letters, they only give you a strip of the 7-inch letters and a strip of the 8-inch letters. I'm going to be cutting this out into individual letters for use on this side of the locomotive. And how I do that is I cut out individual strips of, well, hold on a second. Individual strips of the letters or numbers. I hope I can get this in the view of the camera. There we go. And this is what's left of, I believe, a number strip. Yep, a number strip. Now, this is how I cut them down out of these strips so that each letter is, well, each row of letters is available to me and I can cut from that. I'll be right back after I cut these into strips. Now that we have them down to strips, it's a lot easier to cut out a single letter. There it is. Alright. So now any letter that you might need, you can just cut it out of the strip and lay it down on the table and you'll have it available to you. I'm going to be right back while I set up to get the first 2 letters down on the locomotive. Alright. One of these is the M and one of these is the C. They both flipped over on me. Now I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to dip it in some water. Alright. I'm pretty sure this one's the M. And I'm going to place it on the model. 1 door over from where I want it to be. Do the same thing with the C. I can get it to lay down. This is rather hard for me to do because my camera's actually in my way. Okay. Now I'm going to wet the surface where I want the letter to go. Alright. And there it goes. It goes sliding off already. I'm going to place the decal there. I'm going to take my bamboo skewer. I'm going to place it on top of the decal. And I can then rotate the decal just by twisting the skewer. Alright. And there we go. The M is on there. Let me see if I can get this C on there. And if they're a little crooked, guess what? You can go back later and just use a little bit of water and you can straighten them right on up. Okay. Alright. And just use the bamboo skewer. Twist it and rotate it. Alright. Yep. And they both moved off the door I want them on. Alright. So you just place it where you want it. And as soon as it's where you want it, you're going to let it dry. Once it's dry, they don't move too far. To get rid of the decal backing paper, I'm just going to use the bamboo skewer and pick them up. So as you can see, the wet adhesive glue that's on these things will actually allow your paintbrush to pick up things. Bamboo skewer not so much, but And that's pretty much how it works. You can always re-wet them later and move them around if they don't come out quite to your liking. There we go. But that's how I do my decals. It's a pretty simple little task. Now I'm going to be back with an advanced miler tip and then some final thoughts. But that's all it takes to place decals. Here's my advanced miler tip, and this is for somebody that knows what they're doing with a soldering iron. As you can see, that white strip of styrene there, that's actually got 2 holes drilled through it, and that's turned it into a drawbar. You can see the 4 solder pads. I've literally ran power from both locomotives over. So if one locomotive loses power, the other one that still has power can actually put power to the other locomotive. I did this using some flexible DCC wires from off of the old decoder that was no good. And now when I go installing decoders in these later, I will have to do it the same way everybody else does it, but one will have to be wired backwards for the motor, or I can set the CV backwards for the motor. These are constantly MU'd now, so they don't come back apart, but they still will need a decoder apiece. I'm planning on buying some pins later to actually make these removable completely. So when I don't need them completely MU'd together, I can just unplug the pins and separate the locomotives. But this works for me, and as you can tell, I'm not the best at soldering. But once you go back, use an ohms meter and double check, make sure that when you place an ohms meter on this locomotive, that this locomotive receives power. And yes, I've got a spare fuel tank. That was my big mistake. I forgot the fuel tank was on there when I soldered. So yes, that's my screw up. Alright, I'll be back in a minute with final thoughts. Hey everybody, I do want to thank my Patreon subscribers for all the help they've given me. If I could get more of them, that would be excellent. I'm trying to get enough together that we can start doing more videos like this. These videos, the previous one of this one and this one, are all items got from Patreon only. I know that might sound like I'm bragging about that, but it's not. Every red cent that you guys have spent, plus some of mine, on Patreon has gone to these videos. That's a big help. Alright, I'd also like to thank anybody else that's helped donated anything, and your name will be in the credits after this. It's that simple. If you want to donate items to me, I'm always looking for old lifelike locomotives, especially the SW1200s, the GP20s, and the GP38-2s. I'm trying to get a roster together of those specific locomotives. F units are nice, but they're everywhere. If you have any sitting in the basement and just gathering dust, you want to donate because you don't want to run, hit me up. Alright, you can find me on Facebook at n4f450.com. n4f450 at Facebook, or you can type in my full name, which is also on Facebook. Now everybody's got the hype up for Ron's Trains and Things Down and Dirty weathering contest. I have not entered. My hands are up in the air. I'm not going to enter. I'm sorry to you guys that want to see more of my weathering techniques in advance. I'm going to post my own weathering videos just right now. I don't really feel like doing much weathering at the moment. So I'm probably not going to get to that. My whole house has been sick, and right now I've got young boy just got over the flu, mom's going down with the flu, and little one is got a cold, allergies, something else like that. I'm right now on the up and up, but I'm not even doing that great when it comes to illness. So we're trying to get everything straightened out. I'm trying to do my videos, as I said, once a week, every Sunday. Um, I'm cracking these out. You're going to see some of this if you're a Patreon subscriber coming through Thursdays. I'm going to start posting Patreon videos every Thursday. There will be little snidbits and tidbits of what's going on Sunday's video. So don't be too alarmed about it, but it might get you prepped up and ready to do something for Sunday, even if you're just going to follow along with me. I'm trying to keep my videos a little shorter now. I don't have internet connection to the cable or phone wires or anything else like that. How I'm getting internet connection right now is through my phone only. So when I go to upload my videos, they take forever. And also, if they're more than 30 minutes long, there ain't no way, unless I break it into pieces, that it's coming up on YouTube. I found this out last month. Sorry for the two parts of just about everything. Alright, last bit of final thoughts. If you're really getting to decaling locomotives, one thing I do suggest, and I forgot to mention this in the video, take off all the handrails and everything else before you start trying to put on any decals. If you got to put on a decal and a handrail's in the way, a stirrup's in the way, something else like that, you're going to have a bit of a fit trying to get in there. It's better to place the decal and then place the stirrup, handrail, whatever, over top of it. That's about the best thing I can give you. You can super detail even the cheapest of locomotives. Don't be afraid to sit there and buy off the shelf or off of eBay an older locomotive. You can add a decoder. You can add details. You can add a good paint job. These are things that you can do. And as a matter of fact, there's decal sets out there that, even for Mopac, just about every railroad that's ever existed, and at least a Class 2 short line, that you could get the decals for and be able to put them on a locomotive that would accent the paint job or put the little lines in on a base paint job. Micro Scale also sells a locomotive detail decal set that comes with badges and jacking plates and everything else. The little things that actually make a locomotive look real, including the little F that sits at the front of the locomotive. So have at it, have fun. Decaling's not that hard. Give it a shot. Any questions, comments, go ahead and pop in below. I love ideas on new videos. If you have one, go ahead and post it below in the comments. We'll go from there. Alright, have a good one.